Hello everyone, I am back here to give you the highlights of what made news this past half week. Finally, WhatsApp allows message queuing whilst you're offline. So basically this feature involves you sending a message whilst you're offline, and there is a little gray clock that pops up right at one end of the message showing you that the message will be sent as soon as network comes or Wi-Fi. But people, this feature has been there on Android, Symbian, BlackBerry OS. It's been everywhere since the dawn of WhatsApp. It's so surprising how you find it now, only now, on iOS. Replying messages, usually you would just get a waiting to connect prompt whenever you typed them. Maybe it's not that big of a deal. No one complained about it. Also in the news, Econet Kwese TV finally launches, and it launched in 3 countries, which are Zambia, Rwanda, and Ghana. Next on the list will be other countries that include Nigeria, Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda. Surprisingly, Zimbabwe is not on the list. Or unsurprisingly. Regulatory issues. It's difficult to start anything in Zimbabwe, I guess. And it's so sad that Kwese is actually a Shona name, a Zimbabwean name, and we are the last ones to get it. It will also be expecting another rollout. 18 more African countries. Bouquets are starting at $25 per month, which will give you a host of sporting channels, a lot of sporting channels, and a few other channels for music, movies. And come to think of it, it might just be DSTV's main competition. I mean, if you want to access Kwese TV, you need a set-top box or a decoder and a satellite dish and you're good to go. So yeah, should DSTV be scared about it? Who knows? Maybe Kwese is banking on it providing quality content rather than a whole lot of content that might not entice the public. Also, something that made headlines: a whole quarter of Zimbabweans that have an online presence or that have a smartphone are using imitation brands. A quarter, 24.8 something percent of you guys are using imitation devices. The reason that these phones are popular, not only are they hundreds of dollars cheaper than the original thing, but they look similar, so similar to the original thing. I mean, I was passing through town the other day. I saw an imitation of an S6, and it was only until I powered it on that I realized, okay, this is not really an S6, but just holding it, feeling it, and comparing it with an original, yeah, the normal person will struggle. But you have no support for these imitations. Any part of it dies, whether it's the display, the touch, the camera, anything. You don't have support for those things. You can't buy parts because it's imitations. They don't actually use Samsung parts in there. It's imitation. They will never be as durable as the original, ever. In the phones freeze. But then again, it's not really our fault. I mean, original phones, they're expensive, and with the rate at which new phones are coming out, if I want to keep up with the trends, it's gonna really break the bank. I can't be buying a $400 phone every 6 months. Me wanting to keep up with tech, I would want a place where I can come with my previous flagship, trade it in for the new flagship, and only have to pay a very small fraction of the original selling price. Wait a minute. Zimpost already does that. Yeah, Zimpost Mall. You go to Zimpost Mall, you get to the guys there, they'll be like, okay, that's the phone you get, let's vet it. Okay, just top up $100, we'll give you a new one. Can't Samsung Zimbabwe, ZTE Zimbabwe, Huawei Zimbabwe, can't they do that? I mean, I'm sure they would sell more phones that way. I just come in with my P8, I'm like, hey, can I get a P9? They tell me, okay, conditions? You just have to buy it here, show us the receipt, bring it back with the original box, and just pay $100 more. And you get yourself a P9 brand new boxed. Further details on the delay in the Kwese TV launch in Zimbabwe. A reader posed a question. Why is Kwese TV being launched in other African countries and not his home country? To which Strive responded that it's the regulators that are slowing things down. In actual fact, they have used more resources in Zimbabwe than all other countries combined, just so that they can go through regulations. It's sad. It's a really sad situation, considering it is Zimbabwe's own product, so to speak. And we, the sole shareholders of that service, are gonna get it last. Is this why we're always behind? Because we just take too long to make a decision, to see the vision. And finally, we are hiring people. So Techzim is looking for a technology blogger. Anyone who has a passion for technology that's willing to share their opinion about tech in terms of technology startups, gadget reviews, we do a lot of those, and well, anything basically that has to do with tech, just hit us up on admin@techzim.co.zw and we will holler at you back. And that's all we have for you guys for the first half week. Tune in next time for the second half of this week's highlights. Keep reading Techzim.